Roy decides it is time to leave the two-horse town of River's End if he is to find his destiny. So he says his farewells to the sheriff, and with one last gander at the bounty board, he heads off towards a mining camp. Unfortunately, he is waylaid by some ruffians along the way. The battle gets a bit hairy and poor Winnie gets shot, but in the end, Roy wins the day. After looting, he leaves the bodies behind and continues towards Whiston. As the sun sets, Roy comes across a peculiar pile of mutilated bodies, both human and animal. Roy decides that camping near the gory site would be unwise, so continues his travels through the dark night and reaches the safety of Whiston at some point in the night. After reporting his grisly find to the sheriff, Roy decides to spend the next week recovering in town and practicing with his new-bought guitar. At the end of his holiday, Roy heads to the Black Lotus, a gambling hall, to see if he can collect some bounties. And while he finds one, the desperate fugitive drops a heavy shelf on Roy, knocking him out. Roy comes to in his room to find all his coin and his whip gone. Being in financial pinch, Roy pawns 2 of his short swords and takes a few more days to recover, after which he returns to the Black Lotus, but is not allowed in. But he is approached by an informant who gives Roy a vague direction the fugitive took. Roy leaves town and has a nasty run-in with a poisonous viper, which he manages to stomp. Eventually, Roy comes across a well that is occupied by some dogs. Roy tries to drive them off, but only ends up enraging them. Surrounded by angry dogs, Roy decides to leave, but not before some of the dogs take a couple of bites out of Winnie. Eventually, Roy gets clear of the pack and decides to return to the pack, this time with his crossbow at the ready. After several missed shots, Roy eventually nails a couple, driving off the pack. After drinking from the well of sweet, sweet victory, Roy continues until night once more falls across the land. The next day, Roy comes across charred bodies. A cursory search of the area doesn't reveal much, so Roy follows a small gravel path leading up a hill and nearly stumbles into a giant scorpion. A skirmish ensues, and which Roy wins, despite Winnie almost paying the ultimate price, saved only by Roy's suckiness skill. Roy heads off into the sunset and finally reaches Burton. Will Roy find the fugitives he is looking for? Will Roy ever win the hearts and minds of Chat? Will Roy ever reach level 2? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. Ryan, how are you doing on this fine Sunday morning?
I am doing well. Missed the last couple seconds of the intro. Somehow you always manage to get ahead of me.
That's what she said?
Fine.
Hopefully not. I don't know. Let's keep moving.
That's nice. So, what is new with you? You've been busy with a lot of D&D. I haven't been able to catch up, but no spoilers.
Busy with a lot of D&D. Hardcore Heroes has been going great. Age of Strife has been circling something. I think we finally found out what we were circling, but
This is dangerous here, comparing your shows to each other. It's like choosing a favorite child or something. What if one of the casts are watching? And
I'm not trying to say one's better than the other. I'm just saying that Hardcore Heroes has been like very goal oriented, and Age of Strife has been like figuring out what they're doing because they've got a way more complicated political situation, but they've kind of figured it out what they're doing now, and now they've got like some very clear cut goals and objectives, and it's both shows are looking pretty good. I'm fairly excited for both of them. And Misclicks has been absolutely hilarious. We've been doing Devotion So
Mhm.
Anna's character is dating Jen's character, and V's character is dating Trump's character, and it's absolutely hilarious. And Anna and V are siblings in this one, and it's just like it's ridiculous. It's running like a rom com meets a soap opera meets Dungeons and Dragons,
All
and
with D&D second edition.
yes, it's
I
really
even-
weird and sometimes very uncomfortable for me.
I don't think this would work with anyone but the Misclicks crew.
No, those people are fantastic. They make that show so much fun.
D&D 2E doesn't incentivize much more than just murdering everything and stealing all of their loot.
Yeah. Also, V and Anna both play bards, and they've got their like traveling band.
What is the shenanigans?
Kinda, yeah. They're called Kess and Kellen, and their rival band is Koibu's Chorus, a group of 5 people who sing Gregorian chant. And they've developed a new rival band called Secundus, led by Guy Claypool and Bash Rockstorm, which is my personal Primus joke in there, but no one seems to be getting.
Do you sing any Gregorian chant on the show?
No.
It's unfortunate.
I know. I find some audio clips and play them in the background instead.
Right.
What about you? What have you been up to?
I had some delicious and interesting dinner last night. I'm going to post the link in chat.
Ooh. What did you get?
I was a little amused by the name of the place.
Really? Where the hell? I mean, I guess this is in
It's in
Washington.
Seattle. Yeah.
Verasi
Oh, yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah. If you squint at the logo, it's actually VERACE, but it's all scripty. So
Verasi. It's just a slightly different dialect, you know?
yes, exactly.
Did you
Yes.
feel the death within the pizza?
Yeah, I ordered the soul pizza with extra child fingers.
Oh.
It was absolutely decadent.
Did you get to like pick your teeth with the little bones afterwards?
Yeah, why else would you order fingers on your pizza?
Right.
They're not very meaty, but you get it's like chewy, salty, like jerky, not off the bones. New Branch in chat says food to die for.
Oh god, I kind of want to open a restaurant now called Verasi something or other, food to die for. Oh god, that'd be great. Cool.
Okay. Anything else, or
How is your furniture moving? Did you successfully move the dresser?
actually no? So that's why we were a few minutes late. I was moving a dresser, but it's still in the trunk of my car because it was 5 till, and Neil was calling me. Where are you? Did you forget about me? I think your mic autofocused, or not your mic, whatever.
Yeah.
Camera. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it do that? You got to wave.
Sometimes it does that. It's gets confused by easy movements. I actually had a whole call planned out about this is your Sunday morning wake up call for D&D, but then you answered the phone and like fumbled it and it was silent for a while. I was like, hello, Brian, hello. Did he answer the phone? Hello? Oh, there he is. Okay, ruined my whole
Aaron
skit
and I
I
were having
had.
a conversation. We were debating whether or not to finish moving the dresser then, or wait
Right.
until after.
Yeah, I figured as much. But oh my god, that deer jumped high. We've got deer in the backyard, and they've jumped really freaking high. He just like cleared a 4-foot bush without
I
breaking a
don't
sweat.
believe you. Deer cam, or it didn't happen.
Damn it! I'll set up a deer cam later, maybe.
You got a second webcam, don't you?
I do. That's what the deer cam was.
You
I've
should
actually
just
run a deer cam.
have you
usually.
done that?
Yeah. I've got a second webcam looking in the backyard that has deer cam on top of it. I thought you. That's actually a thing.
I had heard you talk about that. I hadn't seen it actually set up.
Oh yeah, it's totally a thing.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk about where we are, where we were. I guess everyone else watched the recap, so we all know where Roy is.
I caught most of it.
You're a better man than I am.
Yes. Oh, and we can even.
Let's get some music. Let's get some character sheets. God, it's been a long time since we've done Sunday morning Dicing with Death.
Years, yeah, old school.
Yeah. Except this time we're not playing for 8 to 10 hours.
Did we ever? Was that a thing? I don't
We
think
would
that was
play
a
all
thing.
day.
No. Oh, you mean like when we were kids? Like
Yeah.
playing. But real life sessions are different.
Oh, right.
Like we've got to be like entertaining and on the spot, on the ball.
Can't just screw around for 3 hours and then roll some dice and then screw around for 3 more hours.
Yeah, and then take a 2-hour pizza break and feast upon souls.
Yeah. The simpler days. Okay. All right, I got Roy's character sheet up. We're in Whiston on our way to.
No.
Did I already leave Whiston?
Yeah, you have no idea where
Burton.
you are.
Oh, I'm in Burton. I'm right outside the mining camp. I know where I am.
Yeah.
I just whipped a stinging thingy.
Scorpion?
That's
Did
the
you whip
thing.
it to death? You might have whipped it to
Yeah,
death.
I whipped the scorpion to death, which is why I'm only 166 experience away from leveling up.
Cool. One more scorpion might do the trick.
Oh my god.
Did you not silence your phone?
I did not. I did not silence my phone.
The professionalism.
Hmm.
It's real. So, Roy, heart still pumping from the death-defying battle with the scorpion, trots his noble steed Winnie over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's evening. It's evening, right? Sun setting over the hills in front of you. And in the crook of this gully at the foot of a large granite cliff face, you can see a small encampment, shacks and tents and the like scattered throughout the valley. Which no doubt is Burton, your destination.
Now this must be Burton, Roy thinks to himself.
Single road, so this single could hardly call it a road. This small gravel trail continues down and then up, and you can see some structures sort of built into the rock face. It must be the mine itself.
Do I see any horses out front?
Actually, yeah. That's like the first thing you see is the stables. It's probably about from you still like 300 yards, but the stables is the first structure that you can see.
Can I count the number of horses in the stables?
It's the only obvious structure.
Or at least get like a general figure. Is it like 20 horses or like 3?
No, several. There are 4 horses that you can count from here. There is like an overhang over part of the stables, so it's possible that some of them are...
Right. There could be more, but I'm looking at least 4 horses. So at least 4 folks in here.
Judging, there's probably about a dozen buildings spread out over, and the length, like from here to like where the mountain starts to peak or starts to go up towards the peak is so you're like 300 yards from the entrance, and then there's another couple hundred yards to the end. So all in all, I don't know what that is. I don't know.
500 yards?
A few hundred yards by a few hundred yards. Yeah, what is that? Like a quarter mile on a side. Chat's just like, what are these guys talking about with their imperial measurements?
All right.
But, the imperial system is the official measurement system of the Varasi Empire, so we're stuck with it.
The imperial system is what got us to Mars, guys.
And then almost blew up something. Wasn't that a thing? I can't remember what story it was. There was some mishap in space where there was like an international collaboration.
Oh, yeah, where they forgot to convert from meters to feet, and so the probe just like ran into Mars, expecting to go through it.
Was that the Mars? Is that one of the Mars, like one of the Vikings or something?
I don't remember what it was, but it was definitely, some European space agency that couldn't convert units. Oh, I'm gonna get myself killed one of these days. So I'm here looking for. I've written their names down somewhere. Gotta review my notes. Tommy Lee and Lawrence. Right, Tommy Lee's got the long, slender face and a goatee, and Lawrence has a scar and is clean shaven.
And who are these gents? Why are you looking for them?
They have gambling debts back in River's End. There's a 15 GP reward on each of their heads. So Roy's coming through to.
Okay. I'll not backseat PC.
No, not dead on their persons. They're not supposed to be brought in dead. Yes, that's a good point to make. So I'm kind of up on a slightly elevated position, right? I'm over a pass that comes down into this area.
Slightly elevated. You're about level. So if you look straight ahead, you're about level with some of the buildings on the far end of town. But those are like across the gully.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of dips down and then slopes up. And apparently there's a drum circle going on somewhere in...
God, those guys know how to party. All right.
You can see some lights in the village below. Something you can't quite see behind the buildings and some of the terrain. But on the far end of like a big... like a pit, a quarry or something, there is a roaring blaze going.
Okay, so you said there are stables here?
Yeah.
And a quarry? And you said there were about a dozen buildings. Can I make out what any of these buildings are? Is it like...
roll some relevant check. Intelligence? Or maybe if you want to make an argument, you can try and use a different skill or a different stat.
To discern... I guess to see a building, it would be a perception check, but I already can see these things, so it is discerning what the buildings are functional for. So I think intelligence is fair. And Roy nails it with his 6 intelligence.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like there's a collection of maybe 6 buildings with a few random tents around, so down the street behind the stables that you would assume would be like the bunks for the men. Mm-hmm. There are a few smaller buildings between there, and a few interspersed around that are kind of hard to tell. They look like maybe small workshops or something. And then there's a larger building in the center of the encampment that has a water wheel. So you can guess what maybe that... I mean, but obviously it's powering something inside.
Yeah, it must be trying to either run...
Does Roy know anything about mining?
No, Roy probably knows nothing about mining, so I'll try not to think about this. He also only has 6 intelligence, so he just knows that a water wheel means some work is being done somewhere.
Yeah.
I gotta go watch There Will Be Blood now. I love that movie. I feel like I have to watch it tonight.
It's pretty good.
God,
Didn't you just watch it like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Well, for the first time, I watched it 2 weeks ago, and I was floored by the movie. I was absolutely stunned by it. And I've been wanting to watch it ever since then, but I haven't been quite in the right mood for such like a breathtaking, serious movie.
Yeah.
I'll have to do it tonight.
So, as I said, there are some bright lights off to one side. Given their position, you're guessing it's probably not a cook fire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess if you're 23, you would guess that it's probably like a forge or something of the like.
Forge, okay.
And then, make a perception check.
And then there's a mine, too, right? There's a very obvious mine.
No.
Ooh, fail the perception check. But this is a mining town, right? It's a little mining
camp. There are some buildings built into the side. There's no big obvious mine entrance. There are also like some shacks interspersed about.
Okay. So it might be the quarry is their mine. Then it might be like a strip mining operation.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Well, Roy's gonna kick Winnie into gear and start easing on down the road towards Burton.
All right. You make the couple 100-foot trek in less than 5 minutes. You pass a small building. Mm-hmm. Actually, one of the larger buildings in town. Right across the street from the stables. It looks like it's closed up for the night, whatever it is. And you can't read the sign above the door, so...
Hmm. Well, do I
And,
see any people in the town? Are there folks
um,
anywhere?
uh, there's you see a man out in front of the stables,
Okay,
brushing down a horse and taking it in for the night.
I trot over to him.
Uh,
Howdy there, I say, tipping my hat.
he initially pays you no mind, and then sort of connects. You got a horse, and
Mhm.
howdy. Uh, Sort of looks at you and squints. Wasn't expecting visitors. Are you a messenger?
I'm a messenger of sorts. Yeah, I'm looking for a couple of guys to deliver a private message to a Tommy Lee and a Lawrence.
Tommy Lee and Lawrence. Names don't ring a bell. They laborers?
They will be shortly.
Hmm.
Do you got a gambling hall around here? That's where I'm likely to find them.
No gambling hall. The men tend to throw their dice out by the bunkhouses.
Is that over yonder?
You take the left fork. Bunkhouses will be towards the end of the camp. The house or the building just before is the office. I reckon the foreman has a ledger of sorts with these men's names.
All right. I flip him a silver piece
You mean
and thank him for his information and trot on down the road.
well? Your horse don't need. He seems a little confused at getting paid and not having to stable the horse, but he kind of stammers as you ride down the road. The road immediately forks to the right, and then up ahead you can see maybe 50 feet down another fork. You can see some buildings like in between the two forks, if that makes sense, in the crux.
Yeah. Well, I take
One,
the. He said the left fork, right? So I'll take the left fork towards the bunkhouse.
yeah, you take the left fork. Yeah, they're actually set below. Yeah, so down on like the mine floor is where the water wheel is.
Okay.
So that's where the fork is. So I guess this fork is kind of like off at the edge of a cliff face down into the end of the mine floor.
So if I go right or left, do I go to the cliff?
Both. Um,
Like the fork goes around either side of a.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Got it. And then there's a couple of buildings in between the fork.
Yeah, down on the floor. So from here you can't actually see them, but if you go towards the edge, you peer over and you can see that water wheel that you could see from up top.
Okay, and then looking down the quarry, I can see some buildings.
Just two: the water wheel and whatever structure is built up around it, and another. You can roll some checks if you're more curious about these buildings, but
Not yet.
okay. So you take the left fork, staying left of the. Ooh.
Is there an obvious way down?
I'm being fed.
Oh, that's the best. I can't even get mad at you for that. When someone brings you food when you're playing D&D, it's the greatest thing.
Yeah. Now, how to avoid playing or chomping bacon into the microphone while.
Well, at least it's not like an inline mic. You know, you got your nice big mic a little way from you. It won't pick up every crunch of your teeth.
It'll pick up every crunch in beautiful, exquisite detail.
Lovely. Is there an obvious way down into the pit? Is there like a path that circles down around it, or is it a switchback?
Roll a perception check.
21.
Into this one, yes, you can see some sort of wooden contraption going up the side of the face above the water wheel.
Okay.
So either maybe a ladder or who knows.
Wooden contraption.
Mm-hmm.
And is the water wheel beneath me, or is it on the other side and down?
It's beneath you. It's in the.
So I'm like right next to this wooden contraption that comes up.
No. If you take the left fork and then your second right.
Okay.
So you go around. It's basically directly opposite you across the.
Okay,
pit.
perfect. Opposite for me. Cool. Well, I'll take the left fork and make my way towards the bunkhouse.
Yeah. So you take a left and then you come to another fork. If you take a right, you'll sort of circle around that big pit towards the water wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you take a left, I assume you'll take left.
I'll take the left so I can go to the bunkhouse.
Mm-hmm. So you follow the gravel path to the left. There's a big sort of open area immediately to your right here. It looks like they've started like excavating down, but haven't gotten more than a couple of feet, a little more in places. It's like a big work site, but it's all torn up. You pass a building with a bunch of half-finished and dismembered wagons in a yard outside, most covered in tarp, some carelessly left out in the cold, moist night air.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I will get my way over towards the bunkhouse, and while I do so, I'm going to ready my lasso, kind of make sure it's all wrapped up neat and tight so I can toss it when need be. Roy's thinking to himself he's got 2 men to bring home. It's going to be hard to bring them both in at the same time, so he might have to like lasso one of them and hold him tight with the lasso while he whips the other guy. And he's not sure how he's going to do both of them because he can't necessarily wrangle 2 men at once, but maybe if he can like lasso some guy's feet and pull him to the ground, then he can like tie it off on Winnie and slap her in the ass and have her drag him away while he whips the other person. I don't know. He's going to figure it out. But he's going to need both his lasso and his whip to take care of this job.
I appreciate you covering for me while I chew. All right.
Okay.
So you follow the gravel path around the left side of the camp, past the wheelwright, and then past another building on your left, sort of up on stilts. There's a little ramp that goes up to a raised entrance. And there is a flickering of an oil lamp inside the window. Yeah.
All right. I ride Winnie right up towards the door. And,
the bunks are still further down the road. The tents.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I keep going then.
Okay.
I ignore all this stuff. I go right to the bunkhouse.
Okay. You pass a large, unadorned rectangular building, and the bunks are situated behind this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I go past it, and as I do so, I kind of slow Winnie down a little bit, keep my ears peeled to see if I hear any voices, any noise.
I'll roll a perception check.
15.
Over the clamor of sort of the mining operation, you can't really hear much.
Okay, but I can hear the mining operation is coming back from the pit.
There are several pits throughout this little gully.
Okay.
But one of them, it sort of sounds like the clatter, some echoes throughout the whole.
Okay.
The whole valley. This long rectangular building runs adjacent to the road, so lengthwise to the road.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first approach it, you approach like the first corner, and so I don't know, like you can see a tent like from where you are, just behind it. You know that there's probably another half dozen structures behind it from your earlier vantage.
Okay.
But do you stick to the road? Do you circle off into the?
No, I stick to the road.
The dirt. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna when I get to the bunkhouse, let me know so I can do some investigating.
Well, I mean, so that tent is one of them.
Oh, so the bunkhouse isn't a single large building; it is a collection of tents.
Yes,
Okay.
Tents and shacks. There is a single large building that you are standing right in front of.
Okay. Well, I don't see any movement in any of the tents, do I?
You only see one tent.
Wow.
You'd have to go off the road and sort of circle around the back of this building.
Then I will dismount and just like loop Winnie's reins over something, not enough to tie it, just to like give the illusion that it's tied to something. Because I might need to make a quick escape, and I don't want to be caught on her reins being tied to anything.
Trying to think what you could find to loop it to.
Is it not like a rail or a banister or a?
Not on this building.
Is there like a
pretty
post?
simple. No, it's kind of just a giant. I mean, at any of the previous buildings, yeah. This one seems like it was thrown up in a hurry. It's big and it's rectangular, but it's not. There's no like columns or what would you call them, posts or anything. Up front, there's a big set of double doors.
Can I loop the reins around a doorknob?
You could take it over to the door and try that. Or I think my first thought would be that Roy just like ties it to a rock and sets
I think that's probably what we're gonna do. If there's nothing to tie it to, obviously I'll just tie it to a rock.
No, just a big flat-walled wooden structure. No windows, but you can see like some steam or smoke rising from the roof, so there's got to be some kind of ventilation up top.
Okay. Well, I'll tie it to a rock and push my way through the doors.
Okay, so you walk to the doors.
Yeah.
They are slightly ajar, and you can see some light pouring out from within.
All right, so just so we are clear, I have my lasso and my whip and my dagger. I don't think I have my crossbow. I think I'm leaving my crossbow on Winnie with the bandolier on Winnie as well. So if I'm coming in, I'm not coming in like strapped with weapons and ready for a fight. I'll have a whip and a lasso and a knife, but that's it. He's getting extra food. So I am concerned. All right, you're back.
Yeah. So did you have confidant? Or did you need to confide in chat for a second?
I was just killing time.
So remind me again, which you only have your lasso?
My lasso, my whip, and my dagger. I'm leaving my crossbow and my bandolier on Winnie.
Okay. All right. So you push the door open?
Yes. Or I pull it, whichever one it is. I'll try pushing. If that doesn't work, then I'll try pulling.
You push, and you step into a large mess hall. About a half dozen dusty faces turn to look at you.
Do I recognize any of them?
Roll a perception check.
Not a charisma check?
Roll a charisma check.
Nice. 31.
You are pretty confident that none of these men are either of the men you're looking for. So this room looks like it could serve, I don't know, 50 miners, but there's only about 6. Mostly gathered around 2 tables, eating food. There's a door off to the left and then another set of double doors directly across.
Do you think you could turn the music up a little bit?
The music's very dim.
Okay.
You're not even sure what kind of miner knows how to play the flute.
So I call out.
You catch some sideways stares, but no one.
I give a kind of an announcement. Has anyone here seen Tommy Lee or Lawrence? Man with a long, slender face and a goatee for Tommy Lee. Lawrence got a scar across him, clean shaven. At least it was last time we saw him.
Normally I'd make a reaction adjust, but I think I'll let you run the show here. Why don't you roll another charisma check?
21, just barely.
Someone stands up, and who's asking?
Roy is asking. I've got a bounty here on Tommy Lee and Lawrence for your gambling debts that are unpaid back to Madam Buxom's. And
A second chimes in. Are you a lawman?
just a bounty hunter. I ain't here for no ills that you might have done. I'm just looking for Tommy Lee and Lawrence. Anyone seen them?
I ain't no Lawrence, but Sounds about right. Tommy Lee cheated me out of 2 silver bits just this past week.
Well, that's his M.O. You seen him around here, or is he already gone?
I ain't seen him recently. He's here. He's out back gambling.
Just the other side of this wall?
He points to the double doors across the mess hall.
Thank you. And I walk out through the double doors on the other side of the mess hall, my spurs clicking on the ground.
You got spurs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a cowboy. I've got to have spurs.
Did you pay for those spurs?
They came with my boots.
Yeah.
Are they? Do I not have spurs? Have I just been imagining spurs?
You can have spurs.
Awesome.
They're complete. They're not a part of Dungeons and Dragons. They're completely non-functional. So
Fantastic. I have some Texan friends who would probably absolutely hate my portrayal of Roy. I don't know anything about cowboys or westerns.
Are your Texans cowboys?
Maybe. I mean, they're Texans,
they're
right?
Modern day Texans. They probably have just as little exposure to. I don't know.
Don't say that, Ryan. Don't talk about Texas like that. They'll come and get you. In some countries in Europe, Texas is slang for crazy.
Really?
That's what I've read on the interwebs.
He went full on Texas.
Uh-huh.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
The good kind of crazy, though, right?
I can't speak for Norway. Or wherever it was. One of them Nordic countries. Anywho, I go through the double doors. And get my fingers on my lasso, ready to toss it the moment I see Tommy Lee.
All right, you open the back door and you find yourself amongst the collection of tents and bunkhouses. There's a small fire going just off to your right, and you can see about another half dozen men gathered around it.
Okay, I'll take out my lasso, put it at my side. What's the lighting like outside? Is it dark? Is it?
The sun is pretty much gone down. It's dark. Yeah. So.
Okay, so I'm kind of approaching from dim light.
There's light from the mess hall, sort of backlighting you.
Perfect. So someone wouldn't be able to make out my face if I'm being backlit by the mess hall.
Probably not.
Okay, so I will slowly, with my lasso in one hand, start walking towards this group by the fire, trying to make out by the firelight if one of them is Tommy Lee.
Roll a perception check.
Ooh, no good. 16.
Yeah, you can't tell. Not obviously. You have never seen Tommy Lee, though.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
I saw someone. Someone I thought it was Tommy Lee, but...
Okay, so we'll switch their names in Roy's mind. You don't Tommy Lee had really short cropped hair, basically bald. So you don't recognize him.
All right. So I'll get within 15 feet. Hands twitching on the lasso, and call out, Tommy Lee! And look to see who pops their head up first.
I don't know. I'll keep using that perception check you had. No one pops their head up first. They all kind of turn and look to you.
I start kind of swinging my lasso a little bit. Tommy Lee, where are you?
Between the men, you see sort of some scattered coins, as well as dice and cards.
Mm-hmm.
They look over, and one speaks up. Ain't no Tommy Lee around here.
Lawrence?
What are you doing? About 2 stand up. What are you doing swinging that thing?
I let it die down and gather it back up.
What's your name, stranger? What's your business?
My name's Roy. Tommy Lee and Lawrence are my business. Wanted for...
Roll a perception check.
30, natural 20.
Okay, you catch before anyone else does. One of the guys goes towards the coins in the center and start shoveling them towards him. And you're the first to notice this.
If I haven't already dropped my lasso all the way down, if it's still on its way down,
still kind of you're ready to. You can get with that 20 on your perception. I'll let you lasso. Do you say anything as you're doing this?
Nope.
Or?
I just give the lasso a good old toss. So I think it's a called shot, but I have rope use, so it's only at -2 instead of -4.
Okay.
Ooh, do it surprise maybe?
Um.
Guy in the middle is definitely not expecting a lasso coming his way.
Surprise.
Or flank attack, because he's going for the...
No flank, you're looking right at him. Is surprise +2? Or plus... I guess +1.
I think surprise
but it's
+1.
Yeah, you're able to lasso him. Do you choose... With a lasso, do you choose... You choose where you... Like, it's a called shot. You choose what part of him you grab.
That's true. I think I can choose his arms, his body, or his legs. I want to try... Let's double check real quick here. I want to grab him around the torso, if possible. Weapon specialization. No. Come on. Weapon. Here we go. Arms and armor. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Lasso. The attacker succeeds with called shot. Oh, so you can get his legs. And I can get a +4 to a pull trip if I grab his legs. If I do these other things, if I get against his arms, I can trap his weapons to his body. Or I can. So I'm gonna try and. I just want to go around his torso.
Get a nice so keep him from moving, I think, or keep him from moving away from you.
Yeah.
All right, you get it clear over his head. Jaeger on his torso. There's a clang, clang, clang as the coins go dropping. The other 5 men look with surprise. What the hell? What is this? And
I start to rope him in, one arm after another.
Roll initiative.
Right. D10 +3, I guess, because I'm just pulling him. Ooh, 13.
Actually, I guess there's fast, medium, short. Whatever.
Oh, that's right. So I'm just pulling him into me. So I don't know. That probably goes on the fast speed because it's just like a strength check.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Because I'm just the rope at this point is not being used to attack. It's just being used to pull.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm looking if there's anything is anything faster than fast. I guess you choose your slowest, right? So a human can never be faster than fast.
Right.
Okay. And you see a flash of steel, some scuffling. Nothing significant happens, and you go eventually.
All right,
make your strength check.
Tug him in towards me. D20 +11, and I think I get a bonus to my pull trip, or is that only if I get around his legs? It might only be if I'm around his legs that I get a bonus to pull trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'd say you've got him, lashed around. Is that your strength check?
Yeah, it's not so good.
Oh, he rolls pretty poorly too. Let's see what his strength is. 14. He's still I guess he doesn't. He loses his footing, but he's bigger and stronger than you.
Uh-oh.
And manages to stay his ground. Although there's 2 guys also like restraining him. A couple of the others are backing away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I give him a call and say, "What's your name, boy?" As I try and bring him in towards me.
He struggles. None of your business. Who are you? And then the guy next to him's like, "Damn it, Colin! What the hell? You trying to rob us?" And roll initiative again, I guess.
When I hear this guy being called Colin, I know someone could have changed their name real easy. Like, probably not though. If Tommy Lee was going in this camp by his name, he probably actually kept his name. So when I hear this guy's name is Colin, I go, "Colin!" Oh, and I kind of loosen the rope. Never mind. This guy's just cheating you normally. Ain't no bounty on his head.
Can you make any actions that round?
No, I loosen the rope so he can get himself out if he wants.
Okay. Yeah. It becomes apparent to you that one of the guys next to him is trying to shank him, but keeps failing miserably.
You know, I'm okay if they want to kill him for stealing from them. That's not my business.
So, yeah, a fight starts to break out unless
Yeah.
you choose to intercede.
No, Roy's a true conservative. Other people are allowed to do whatever they want as long as it doesn't bother him. So you want to shank Colin? Knock yourself out. I ain't getting in your way. You got your right to do what you want to do.
All right. How much of this do you wait around and watch?
I just, loosen the rope, walk over. I got to get my lasso back, so I'll go over and retrieve my lasso from him. Or if he,
I mean, there's a fight going on, so I guess you'll have to.
Yeah, like I'll try and loosen the rope and get it off of him, or if they're brawling, I'll try and.
Yeah, make a strength. So, Colin, the guy who your rope is around, has managed to get his hands on the guy with the shiv.
But the rope is still around Colin.
Yeah. Actually, he gets his hands on him, but gets cut in the process and starts bleeding out and screaming.
That's fine.
So the fight seems like it's over pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll just walk over there and let other people do their piece. If they want to keep shivving him, that's fine. But I'll do that. Excuse me, I need my rope back. Sorry, don't mind the murder. Just need my rope.
There's the guy with the shiv is just going at Colin, and the other guy's tries to restrain him, but gets just like an elbow to the nose and like stumbles back, and the shivving continues. And within about a minute, it's pretty apparent that Colin's dead.
All right. Excuse me. Don't mind me. Just getting my rope. Now, see, you boys don't take too lightly to people cheating on their gambling here.
The man before you appears more animal than man. He's got the bloodlust in his eyes.
Whoa there. I kind of put my hand near a dagger. Easy, buddy. Hey, just a friend here. Just give me my rope. I ain't here for you.
He pants, and you're able to retrieve your rope.
Okay, good. So, clearly you fellas don't take kindly to people cheating you. So I recommend you tell me where Tommy Lee and Lawrence are, so I can keep these low-down, dirty, cheating gamblers away from you and your hard-earned coin.
The guy who seemed to be talking more sense spits. Ain't seen Tommy Lee for a couple of days. Don't know this Lawrence fella.
It's likely.
A third speaks up. Says, "Yeah, friend of Tommy's showed up. They took off together."
When they take off?
Yesterday.
They headed northward?
Don't rightly know. He shrugs.
Well, they sure as hell didn't go south. Next town to the north is Figueroa, right?
The men nod in agreement, though that's quite a trek.
Anywhere else they could have gone? Any other places nearby that ain't south?
There's a supply depot between here and Figueroa. One of the men chimes in. Ain't much of a destination.
Well, I'll check it out on my way north. Sorry for the trouble, and, sorry, Colin. You played your last hand. Is there a place around here where a stranger can rest his weary legs?
Blank stares.
That's what I thought. I turn back and head into the... there's an office near the bunks that the stable guy told me about. So I'll look for the office and try and talk to the foreman.
I have described the buildings that you've seen.
Well, my poor memory, I think, makes it perfect for Roy's low intelligence. You've described many buildings to me, Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember them all in detail.
I mean, none of them, I guess, were obviously an office to you.
Yes, but there
They're
was a
mostly.
building nearby that had a flickering light on. Is that the mess hall that I'm in?
No, there was a building you passed before with an
That's the
oil
one that I'm
lamp.
going to. That's got to
Okay.
be the office.
Okay.
He hopes. So I'll head over there.
Okay.
I'll walk Winnie there.
All right. Winnie is still out front, tied to a rock,
She'd better
eating,
be.
eating another rock.
Winnie, that's a rock. Damn it, girl! Here, I'll take some oats out of her bag and let her munch on some oats while we
Okay,
walk.
you do have some notes for her.
Yeah, I've got many days of horse feed with me, which was super fucking expensive, which is why I'm so damn broke.
Hey,
Winnie,
horses ain't cheap.
you are more of a pest than you are useful creature. Gotta clean out your horseshoes, Winchester. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
All right, you lead Winnie to the office.
Yep. I'll keep her tied to the
just-
same rock and just set the rock down when I get out to the office.
Just about 100 feet down the road.
Perfect.
You walk up the steps to the door.
And
The
walk
window,
on in.
there's glass windows, but they're like cloudy, so you can't actually see much through.
Is it like intentional cloudy or just a lot of grime built up?
I think just crappy glass.
Cool.
And you can see some flickering and some shadows.
All right, I'll make my way into the building and look around for someone who looks important, like a foreman.
You open the door, and there are two men sitting around a table. You appear to interrupt their conversation as they both kind of turn to look at you.
Greetings, gentlemen. I say as I tip my hat, but then I'm actually indoors, so I'll take it all the way off.
Yes, says the man behind the desk. They each have a glass. There's a bottle of whiskey between them and some papers strewn out.
Are you the foreman? My name's Roy.
Yeah, I'm the foreman. You looking for work?
I found plenty of work for myself. I'm here looking for a couple of people that might have been under your employ for a little while. A man by the name of Tommy Lee, recently joined by his friend Lawrence. They took off yesterday. I'm just here to let you know that these fellers are wanting for their gambling debts. They cheated some of your men out here out of their money, and they're wanting by Madam Buxom back in River's End for quite a bit of money. There's a 15 GP reward on each of their heads, alive, not dead. I'm just looking for them. Your men say they left yesterday, headed northward. I'm just wondering if there's a place I might be able to rest for the night before I head off again. Don't mean to impose, but got to bring men to justice. Men that have wronged you.
You a lawman?
Not really.
Rubs his belly.
I only
Strokes
got as
his
much use for the
short
law as it
mustache.
has for me.
Well, he looks through his papers. Yeah, Tommy Lee was here for about a week.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
Didn't show up a couple days ago.
He
Don't know where he is. And I ain't running a tavern around here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You got a bunk I can rest in?
As I said, ain't running a tavern around here.
I know for a fact one of your beds just opened up tonight. You might as well scratch
Narrows his
Colin's name
eyes.
off that ledger.
What are you saying?
I'm saying Colin got caught stealing from other people, and he died a miserable death.
You kill one of my boys? He
No,
sort of
sir.
stands up, his right arm still beneath the table height.
No, sir, I did not kill one of your boys. Just wondering if his bunk is available for the night.
Roll a charisma check.
Uh-oh. I don't think I made friends with the foreman. I don't think he likes me.
He narrows his eyes. Come in here, kill a man, and want to take his bunk?
Say no more. I know when I'm not
Kinda-
wanted. Sorry for the trouble. Good luck with mining operation. And I head out. I'm not fighting this guy. I'm not getting in trouble with these people. I'm level 1 with 5 HP. I'm sure I could talk my way out of this maybe, but if it got to a fight, I'd just be screwed, and then I'd have to go back to town and rest for a week before I went anywhere. Discretion is the better part of valor. I got too much shit to do. I can't be macho with everyone I run into. So I'll back away. I still have a bedroll on Winnie. I'll go sleep outside and hope the scorpions don't get me.
Well, you back out of the office. Foreman staring you down, hand twitching beneath the desk the whole time.
Right. I will take Winnie outside of the mining camp a little ways.
The second man, the witness, stands silent throughout the whole conversation. Silent and seated.
I'll take Winnie a little ways out of the camp. Not too far, maybe like 100 yards or so.
Out the way you came in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Try and find maybe a collection of rocks that I can make my camp against so I can at least block the wind from one direction.
Mm-hmm.
Set up my bedroll. Put together a little fire with whatever might be lying around, if there's anything lying around. And I do have a guitar. Yes, I still have a guitar. So I'll twang improperly on it. Dwang, dwang, dwang.
And I think with that, we'll head into our first break.
All right, see you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.
Twang.